There we go. Okay. Now we're moving on to anime.
Finally.
Yes.
Kind of the main thing that we've been building up to.
This is the thing we wanted to talk about all day. Or all stream.
All day.
All stream.
All stream.
So, do we want to start at the top or at the bottom? Probably the top, because we did kind of go, by the beginning of the year toward the end.
Yes. So we'll start with the top.
Okay. So this is new and updated anime for this year. That is what we're going to be currently talking about. All right. First and foremost. Oh, solo leveling.
Solo leveling.
Oh my gosh, this anime is just excellent. I remember I read the what is it? The light novel?
The light novel.
Yeah, the light novel of this. And then when I found out that they were making the anime, I was like, stop. We have to watch this. And we did.
And we did, and it was wonderful. I keep watching the end of episode 6 over and over again because it's so good.
It is pretty good.
Just the music is really
Oh yeah,
good.
music's excellent. Music's
The
excellent.
OP goes so hard.
The OP goes so hard. Oh my gosh. Yeah, most of what we watched this year has been anime. Yeah, I cannot laud this anime enough. It's so good.
It's really good. The animation is amazing. And the acting, both in the original Japanese dubbing and the English dubbing, is really good.
Yeah, it's a good anime. Like I know a lot of people are saying that because if people haven't watched or read the light novel or the manhwa or the manga, um, that it's a lot harder to understand why it's so awesome and why the end of season 1 is so awesome. But they'll understand once we get to season 2.
Still get it. We still get a feel for how amazing it is. Like, even if it's not, like, if we don't have the context. I still absolutely was cheering him on, like, yes, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you become the coolest guy that you can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know. I can't wait for season 2. It's going to be coming out next month. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Oh, I think next month. Did we already look at that?
Yeah, I think, yeah, January.
Let me see. Sunday, January 5th, 2025 at 12 a.m. Japan Standard Time. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited for that. Yep. Definitely excited for season 2. Been waiting for it for an entire year now. So, excited that that's coming out. All right. Anything else you want to talk about this anime?
I think I've said everything that I've wanted to about it. Just really good time.
Really good time.
It's
Yeah.
really intense though, so if that's a thing you're a little sensitive to,
Yeah.
like from as early as episode 2, things start to get brutal.
Yeah. I think as early as episode 1, right?
Episode 2 is when crap hit the fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Episode 2 is when crap hit the fan. You're right. So yeah, very good anime. What would you rate it, Starlight?
I would rate it an Eli.
Ooh, yeah, I can agree with this.
Yeah, I was excited for every new episode that came out. Especially the song that plays at the end of episode 6 with the vocals.
Hmm.
Gorgeous and was just perfect for that moment.
Yeah. Some-
I had chills.
I
I've been chasing that dopamine high ever since.
Yeah, it's a good anime. I really enjoyed it for sure. And so yeah, I'm excited for season 2. All right, this next one is one we kind of slept on for the entire year and just started watching a few days ago.
We've been enjoying it very much.
Oh yeah,
Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
yeah,
It's a very
yeah, it's
oh,
Starlight. It's Frieren, I believe.
Frieren,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it a lot. I haven't rated it yet because we haven't finished watching it. We're only on episode. Well, we finished episode 6. We're about to start episode 7, and from what we've seen so far, it's been really good.
Yeah, it's gorgeously
Oh
animated.
yeah, the animation is
It
excellent.
feels like a Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah, it just feels like back in the day when people like hand drew stuff. It just feels good.
Like even the way that they do magic in some cases like has a very hand drawn vibe to it.
Yeah, I'm talking about hand drawn like the 1950s and 60s, like each panel
Yeah.
separately drawn, which is whoa, like the classic Disney drawing like animation,
Mhm.
which I know a lot of anime is animated in that style nowadays. Like they still animate each separate panel separately. To be fair, um, but it just feels like this one just hit that art style so much harder than a lot of others. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. It just feels like it's just got that extra love and care, you know? I
Mhm.
really have been enjoying it a lot. What would you rate it from what we've seen so far?
So far, I think I would give it a S plus.
I yeah, I can agree with that.
And I'm sure that rank will go up as we finish.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Then was it Daily Life of the Immortal King?
Yes.
I think this was it Chinese anime?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, it was really well done. I still have to catch up on like season 3. But from season 2, like I watched season 1 and 2, I really enjoyed it. It was very good, very enjoyable. I showed it to Starlight. There was this one scene where they did the OP and then it swapped from the OP directly into the anime seamlessly. Oh,
No, I think it was the other way around. They did the cold open and then that blended right into the OP.
oh, they did the cold open and then into the OP.
Yes.
I think you're right. I think you are right.
It
Yes.
was either way, it was seamless, it was beautifully done.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I loved it a lot too. Yeah, really well done. I wouldn't say it's like the best anime ever, but for what it is definitely an enjoyable anime.
It's fun.
It's a fun anime. It is an enjoyable anime. What would you rate it?
I don't know if I should give it a rating because I haven't watched a whole lot of it.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave that to you.
I I think I'm gonna give it an A plus. Yeah. I'm gonna be shortening some of these names because they're very long. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna give it an A plus, like a 96. It's not the best anime out there, but for what it is a very enjoyable anime. Um,
Mhm.
it's a main character's OP. That's
He was literally born OP. He came out of the womb OP.
and yeah, if he's not properly handled, he will overload and blow everyone up. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah, there you
Is
go.
a whole thing. It's very fun.
Very fun, very enjoyable anime. If you like the, OP protagonist anime, which I do.
Yeah, which we understand that not a lot of people do, and yeah,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with not liking with yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has their preferences. Next anime. The Undead Unwanted Adventurer. I think you only watched like a couple episodes of this because I was watching this one alone.
Yeah, I
So I
think
wanted
that's
to see
about
if it
right.
was any good. So we might watch this together at some point. I liked the premise behind this one. I give it a 5 star on Crunchyroll. It's enjoyable. I I'd like to see where they go from here. But the problem is with anime, you never know if it's gonna get a season 2. So because of that, I'm hesitant to rate it really highly on my actual media year in review. Until it gets a season 2, I think I might rate it a B plus. It's about a character who dies. He dies within like the first 5 minutes, I think, of the first episode, so that's not a spoiler. The main character dies, and then he comes back as an undead, but he can think for himself. And he has these new powers where he can level up and grow stronger, which apparently adventurers in this world cannot normally do, or something. Yeah, something like that, where like you're stuck at the same power you have, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, something like that. But he eventually gets to the point where he's very, very strong. And he's even meeting like a vampire and other stuff and going on these crazy quests. And it's really fun and interesting. It's a very interesting concept, and I'd like to see where they go with it. But the problem is, are they going to go anywhere with it? Are they going to get a season 2? I'd like to hope they will. So if they don't get a season 1, it'll be like a B minus. If they get a season 2, I'll give it like an S. Maybe S minus, actually. Yeah. So hesitantly, I'll give it an S minus. But if they never get a season 2, it's going to go down to like a B minus. All right. Next one. Another one that Starlight didn't watch, but I did. But it's another very fun, interesting premise. The wrong way to use healing magic. Um, so you know how berserkers are a thing, right? This guy's a healer. His mentor is a healer. She teaches him to be a berserker, basically, and to go out onto battlefields, grabbing people and helping them and healing them. Welcome back, King's Dog. And helping them and healing them, and to be his own hero, like a hero in his own way, to help people. It's just a very interesting way to do it. Very interesting premise of toughening the body using healing magic, because it makes sense. The more you rip and tear the muscles, the stronger they become. So in this in this anime, you would, you know, run all day, but you would have your healing magic healing you constantly. So you'd be constantly healing your muscles back as you're running or lifting weights or whatever else. Starlight, are you listening to me?
Yeah, yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, just making sure, because like you're
Yeah, I'm listening. I just got stuck.
okay. Um, and so like it's just a very interesting concept, and the reason why I was asking if you were listening, because I know you're a very big biology person.
Yeah, that is true with the muscles. Like, it's these tiny tears that they repair themselves.
Mm-hmm. So
I,
using healing magic to speed up that healing, that natural healing process, to build a muscle stronger, and to be constantly exercising and to
eh,
heal yourself with healing magic to heal faster, and to just have that constant feedback loop, I guess is a feedback loop the word
oh,
I'm looking for?
I I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Anyway, and have that constant loop, I guess. I don't know, whatever, of constantly tearing your muscle and constantly healing your muscles and constantly tearing your muscles and constantly healing your muscles as you're exercising. And he basically becomes a berserker with healing magic. It's bonkers. It's amazing and bonkers, and I love it. It's a great concept, and I do recommend this. I What would I give this? I think I would give it like an S, like a 5 star. Did I give it a 5 star on Crunchy? Yeah, I gave it a 5 star on Crunchy. So yeah, I'll give it a 5 star. The wrong way to use healing magic. S 100. Full 100 points, no bonus points because I'm gonna wait and see if they get a season 2. Then I'll give them bonus points, depending on how good season 2 is. All right, and then the next one is an anime I actually ended up dropping, but I did watch part of it this year. The Strongest Tanks, a Labyrinth Raids. It just,
Not all of the stuff on our list can be good.
yeah, and that's the thing. It just felt very, I think the word is contrived. It just felt like it was just nothing new. It was very, like it was rehashing what a bunch of other animes already did, you know? Is that what I'm going for? Is that the phrase I'm going for? Contrived?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's cool, it's interesting, but it's like there's so many like there's a bunch of other animes that are so similar, like Shield Hero, and granted Shield Hero is a whole other thing, and I'm not going to go into Shield Hero because Shield Hero is kind of crap at this point.
That's another can of worms.
Yeah. Um but this one I I couldn't continue watching after a certain point. It just it felt like everything was like, even for a anime where the hero's overpowered, it just felt like everything was way too easy for him, which I know is bonkers thinking about, OP character animes, but it's just like I don't know, it just wasn't written well, I guess, is where I'm going with it. It just wasn't enjoyable. It wasn't written well. And I think the average rating can agree with me here. It's at 4.1 with only 18K reviews. I think a lot of people didn't really enjoy this one. Um, it just wasn't a good one.
Hmm.
It just Yeah, just wasn't a good one. So I think with that one, let's see. I think this is gonna be our first D minus.
Ooh.
Oof. That's like a Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 47. Just not enjoyable. All right. This next one. Ugh.
Is also
At least we stuck with this one.
we did. We saw it through to the end.
We saw this one through to the end, but oh my gosh, this one had
Mhm.
so many issues. Like the biggest one being the mid-season finale. After the mid-season finale, the arts and like writing and everything just took like
The quality of everything dropped noticeably.
had just had a major drop in quality, noticeable drop in quality, and it just took a major dip and nosedive, to the point where it has earned this 2.9 average rating, with 21.9K average, or 21.9K reviews. It's I don't know, it just wasn't good. Like the first 6 episodes weren't terrible. Like
No, it was a interesting
it
premise.
was an interesting premise. They were working and building stuff up, and it was kind of interesting with the mid-season finale. They really did really good with that, I think. But I think
Yeah,
that's what they spent most of their budget on was the mid-season finale because of how
because
good it
from there
was.
everything just kind of
Yeah, everything just kind of went downhill. Just was not good after the mid-season finale of episode 6. It's just, ugh. I don't mean to like be rude to like people who make anime. I don't mean to.
this is not to disrespect anybody who we
No.
know worked really hard on
Yeah,
this.
this is not to be disrespectful. This is just me saying what happened. Like honestly, it was interesting and decent, but then it was just kind of trash. And I did notice that they went through and they actually updated the graphics. Like they actually updated the quality of the episodes. They've re-uploaded them.
You can see some of like tiny errors if you look at some of the episodes.
The biggest one is still there though, is where he like starts, okay, the main character is like standing here, right? And something explodes off in the distance and they pan like they change the shot to that. So it's like the whole shot is, oh, this explosion. And then they look back to toward the hero and then there's a guy standing in front of him, so he sidesteps, but it doesn't look
It
like he
it looks
sidesteps.
it looks like he's going up a hill.
Yeah. It looks like he's just kind of, I don't know. It's just he's just like slides instead of steps. Like
It's
it's
very awkward.
very like,
That was like that moment was what pulled me out of the immersion. I'm just like,
yeah. What just
"What is this?"
Yeah, it pulled me out too. And I was like, what happened? What happened? Why is this? And then it just from there it just didn't get better.
Mhm.
Gotta watch it then. Well, King's Dog, we are warning you. The first 6 episodes aren't terrible, but the last 6 are oof. Just letting you know that now. Specifically episode 7, there were oof.
Yeah, so just be prepared. Just be prepared for things to get a little.
Yeah, when they
And
first
I also feel like they didn't deliver on what we thought the closing theme was alluding to.
yeah, they really
'Cause the
didn't.
the closing theme was, like, really cool, and it had, like, this whole theme um, about, like, not letting yourself be tied down by what is expected of you,
Mhm.
and I don't feel like it fully delivered on that.
No.
It was a letdown.
Yeah. And another thing is like they did fix this, of course. Like I said, they re-uploaded the episode, but when they first uploaded episode 7, you could see the pixelation in all the characters' hairs. Like all the characters, different hair, like you could see the pixelation on all the different hair. It was actually awful. I was just like, what the crap am I watching? Like it was just a jarring jump from episode 6 to episode 7. It was bonkers.
Mhm.
And I think I want to give this an E plus, Starlight.
I think that's warranted
Like it's
because of the way it dropped in quality and did not deliver where we thought it was going to. I think an E plus is a very fair rating.
yeah. Like I don't
That's
know.
it. Just you are free. Feel free to check it out, and you're entitled. You are free to think what you like of it. Just know that's how we feel about it, and be prepared for to potentially be let down.
Mhm.
Because, like I said before, the premise is fascinating.
Mhm.
Just didn't deliver.
All right. The next one is Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. So I actually haven't watched a whole lot of the new season. In fact, I watched like the first couple minutes of the first episode of the newest season, and I just never got around to watching the newest season. But we can go ahead and like talk about. Did you ever watch season 1 with me?
I don't think I did.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and talk about season one. Uh, it's an interesting anime. It's an interesting premise. There's a lot of like really raunchy stuff in it. And this is coming from someone who plays Borderlands 2.
And for some other things that we'll talk about later.
Yeah. But like this one, I don't know. It's just yeah, OP main character, sure. He's kind of strong. Yeah. It's fun, it's enjoyable. Um yeah, I mean he's kind of overpowered if I remember right. I don't remember. I have to watch it again. But like I don't know, it just very much felt really gross the first season and
Uh,
I I really had a hard time wanting to watch season 2. Um
and you didn't.
and I didn't. I still think it's a decent anime for people who like isekais. And he's very strong. He's a strong isekai character. I think it's an enjoyable anime if people can get past the legitimate grossness and disgustingness of it.
I don't know if I want to watch it.
I think I'm gonna give it like a B minus. Um, yeah. And just as a reminder, the max score is 100. Anything after 100 is just extra bonus points. Um, like I gave it a 4 on Crunchyroll. Uh, and let's see. Yeah, like at 79, 80. That's about 4/5 of the way. Yeah. So yeah, that's an acceptable rating in my opinion because there's a lot of gross stuff in it, and it just could have done without it. It in my opinion is if something could be the exact same but be more enjoyable without something in it, then that doesn't need to be in it. If that makes sense. Like if the story would be and the plot would be the exact same and still be and be more enjoyable without that said stuff in it, then that stuff just doesn't need to be in it.
Yeah.
So
It reminds me of a lot of the some of the feminist writing tests that they do where like people saying like you don't have to like actually do something gross to a person to make them feel to get the point across.
yeah.
All you have to do is threaten them.
Yep. But no, it's just actually kind of gross. Speaking of kind of gross, Remonster.
Uh, yeah.
Starlight and I watched this together. We were not prepared for whoa, whoa, Bobby. Sorry, going Hank Hill there for a second. Uh, yeah, we were not
Yeah.
prepared for what this gave to us. Holy crap.
Yeah.
They were fairly tame after like what, the second episode though?
Third, I want to say.
Yeah, after the third episode, they were fairly tame. They were fairly tame up until the third episode, and then after the third episode, they were fairly tame. Like
Yeah.
it was just wild. That one episode was just really woof.
Oh boy.
Like they have some like, oh yeah, he spends the night with the ladies in like later episodes, but nothing near as bad as the Dryad lady in the third episode. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
Why is the dryad so horny?
Yeah. Um I think it gets about the same as Mushoku Tensei, honestly.
I should also mention, this is a minor spoiler warning, but I do want to put a content warning out there. There is a pregnancy body horror element in episodes 10 and 11, and that was a thing that bothers me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put that out there. That's a thing that happens in episodes 10 and 11 for things that for people who may find that uncomfortable or potentially triggering. it's not a real life issue, it's a fantasy one, which I somehow find harder to deal with.
Yep, and there's a content advisory under it for nudity, sexual violence, sexual content, suggestive dialogue, suicide, and violence. It's we were not prepared for this anime. It was
No,
I
it's just like I feel like the main character like grabbed both of us by our ankles and hung us upside down. That's how unprepared we were.
yeah,
And then he set us back down on our butts and was like, "I'm sorry."
yeah. Cuz like it's an enjoyable anime and
Yeah, the story is really cool.
the concept's really good. The idea behind it's really good. Like the actual plot it does have because it does have plot is good. But holy crap, the moments that it doesn't have plot, it's actively like a little bit disturbing and gross and just straight up disgusting.
Yeah.
Um
So if that sort of thing doesn't bother you at all, you'll probably enjoy it. If you're more sensitive about that kind of thing, especially since this is technically an 18 plus series, though we don't
technically
see
it's
anything.
16 plus, which is
Okay, it's
bonkers to me.
because you never see anything
I
super
guess
explicit.
technically there's nothing explicit, yeah.
But if that is a thing you're not comfortable with, I would not recommend watching this one.
Yeah. It's yeah. Uh we started watching it and then we wanted to finish watching it because the story was actually decent. And
Yeah,
yeah, it was some cost fallacy at that point.
basically.
But I'd say like a 79, 80.
Yeah, I think that's a good rating. A solid B plus,
B minus.
B minus. Story was good. It's just a little whoo in a
Yeah.
couple of places.
All right, speaking of oof, next one. Next one is I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I could take my time perfecting my magical ability. I I really this anime made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I the the little girl being like half naked half the time, the little boy them focusing on the little boy's thighs a lot. It's just like why?
focus too much on his legs.
It's just like why? What is the purpose of this? Like they actively had a shot where
You'd be surprised how long a lot of the English translations of a lot of Japanese
what
anime
is that
are.
name? Yeah, exactly, King's Dog. Yeah,
No, but the premise, like all of that aside,
yeah,
the premise is very fun.
yeah.
It's a cool. I love the way that they establish the magic system in this
Mhm. The
anime.
magic system in this is like the best thing about it. It's one of the best magic systems in any anime I've seen. It's excellent.
And I really like the way that everything's animated. The
Oh
art
yeah.
style is lovely.
Animation, art style's excellent. Just those few hangups are like, I don't know about this.
And I do love the character development in
Oh
this.
yeah, the character development of this little goat guy, excellent. Like
Yes.
it's A plus at least just for that little goat guy.
Yeah, we
Minimum
love
A
him.
plus just because of the goat guy. He's excellent. I love his character. Grim
Because he
is
he goes from basically, yeah, grim. He goes from basically being the big bad evil guy to being the most supportive henchman slash like
ally.
wingman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not wingman, that's not the right word.
Henchman slash ally
Yeah.
that the main character has.
Yeah.
And it's just there's just real growth with Grim. I love Grim.
Mhm.
And all that happens in like him becoming his henchman happens in like the first episode. So it's not much of a spoiler. Um
Nah. He gets his butt handed to him by a 10-year-old boy,
yep.
and it's amazing. But
Um
the growth where he goes from reluctant to genuinely caring for and looking out for Lloyd, 'cause that's the main character's name. His name is Lloyd. That growth was really amazing. And the scene where Grimm comes running to Lloyd sobbing because his
Oh,
friends are in trouble.
uh,
That was the moment where I knew I'm like, he's officially on his side now.
yeah, it was
Like,
so good. So because of Grimm himself, because of that one character, it's a minimum A plus for me. Because of those hang-ups of those other issues, I would say it was a B minus. But because of Grimm, it's a minimum of A plus. But then because of that one moment where he literally drilled a hole in the planet, I'm
yes!
gonna give this thing like an SS minus.
Because that, oh, and the payoff
Oh, the
of that
payoff.
scene made it so much. We don't want to share too many details, but just the payoff leading up to that moment made that scene so much
Excellent.
more amazing.
Like those hangups would drag this anime down to a B minus, but because of Grimm and because of the magic system and because of him literally drilling a hole in the planet, it brings it up to an SS minus. I'm gonna give it a 107 points.
Yes.
Like it's just
It
oh
was one of my favorite anime of that season.
yeah, it was one of my most favorite episodes of any anime of this year. Like that moment, especially that moment where he drilled a hole in the planet, it was freaking bonkers because of
Out
that
of nowhere.
that payoff. We have to watch that. We have to watch that scene again now. Now that we're thinking about it, not right now. I don't know about the legality of watching anime on stream, so I'm not going to do
Right.
that. But we should watch that after we're done with the stream because that stream was or that stream that moment was excellent. Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So yeah, I definitely think SS minus is a good spot for that.
Yeah. That just grim and then that one moment in that one scene that helps with all the payoff of the previous scenes of being awful scenes of just being sadness and
Just
oh
a moment of
heart-wrenching.
pure and utter betrayal.
Pure and utter betrayal and heart-wrenching sadness to a moment of holy crap. Woo. Good stuff. So yeah. Because of Grimm and because of that scene, it bumps it up. All right. We're moving on to the next one.
Yes. This next one
So
is
good.
probably my favorite.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the better ones of this year. Chilling in another world with my level 2 with level 2 cheat powers or super cheat power, sorry.
Ugh,
This honestly Starlight and I really loved this anime. It is very much
so
it's a
much.
lovey-dovey hang on. I got to pull up uh what was her name? Not Fern.
Reese.
Reese.
Fenris, but they just call her Reese.
Reese, anime OP.
Yes. Yeah, the best part for well, the whole story was amazing, of course, but like this was definitely one of my favorite parts about it.
Okay, yep, this one. I'm not gonna play it on stream for obvious reasons. But I am gonna post it in chat for people to watch if they want to watch it because it's really just really cute. It's so cute. Such a cute OP. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, Starlight and I love it.
Yeah. So, and just the premise is this guy gets teleported from a different fantasy world
hmm
into this new one, and they're like, "Oh, you're not the hero. We'll just send you on your way."
Yep.
And then he levels up,
To level
and
2.
all of his powers are infinite.
All his skills are infinite. The infinite symbol there. And that all happens within the first like 15 minutes. So it's not much of a spoiler.
No,
Um and then he meets Reese. And oh my gosh, they are the cutest couple ever.
they are the most, and the way that like she falls in love with him is such a sweet moment because it
Oh
shows has character, and then furthermore the catharsis in episode 6
gosh.
where that
Oh,
moment
that moment.
where we were called back to the first episode.
Oh,
She says, "I don't want you to lose what made me fall in love with you."
oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
Such a good and cute anime, and Starlight and I love it, and we cannot wait for season 2. And honestly, we've thought about cosplaying as them.
I would love to cosplay as Reese.
Yeah, because I have brown hair, I have brown eyes, but I can it's fine. And Starlight has blue eyes, but we can get a white wig. Uh
Easily,
Easily.
easily get a white wig.
So yeah, it'd be super simple and easy for us to cosplay as them. Maybe like one day when after we reach like 10,000 subscribers, we can do like cosplay requests and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Because as a note for people who may not be aware, we're not doing an official face reveal until after Eli hits 10,000 subscribers.
Yep.
So if you want us to show our faces on screen, don't forget to subscribe.
Yep. Once we get to 10,000, I'll do a face reveal stream where I'll do a cam and we'll do a green screen behind me even. We'll do the full setup. But it's going to be a little while cuz I haven't even reached 1,000. I haven't even reached 500 yet. So, it's going to be a while.
It's gonna be a while.
But yeah, I adore this anime. There's a reason I gave it 5 stars. I have no complaints.
No, I have no complaints either. Like, and while Fleo and Reese are the main characters, like the growth with the other characters in
Yeah.
this anime is really good too.
Yeah, because it's not a harem anime. Like that's something that
No,
it seemed like at first it might be, but no, it's just a group of friends living together, and Fleo and Reese are they're just a good
yeah,
couple.
no, they run the house, and the girls that live on their property help out.
Mhm.
Yes, get him to 500 subs. Thank you,
Thanks,
Kingstock.
Kingstog. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens.
but they live on the property and they help out with chores and things, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
And they all become closer with each other, and they yeah.
It's a good anime. We really like it a lot. We highly recommend it. Starlight, what would you give it?
I would give it oh, I would give it triple S plus.
All right. That's what I was thinking. Somewhere in the S's. Oops.
Yeah, so if you want a feel good anime with a little
Yeah.
bit of action,
Feel good anime, good amount of action.
and I would highly recommend checking that out.
Yep. Got a good amount of lovey-dovey.
Oh yeah.
Very much something you can watch with your partner and be okay with watching it with your partner. It's very fun.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, here we go. Oh, next one. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, this one is so adorable. I just can't. I just can't.
Oh, it's adorable, but it's also emotional. Yeah.
Starlight, you've paid better attention to the story than I have, I'm sure. Please talk.
I have. So, it's another isekai where this guy, I guess he has a heart attack right outside his apartment, and he's reborn in this fantasy world as the son of a lord. And he finds out that he has the ability to see the skills and traits of other people. And what he decides to do, and yeah, what he decides to do is he decides to find the best people with the best skills to help grow to improve his land. And one of the very first people he recruits is the tall guy in the butler suit, Reitz, who is discriminated because of his nationality. But ours, that's the main character's name, he refuses to give up on him. He's like, I don't care. I know that he's special. And so his dad like fights him and doesn't hold back, and he beats, and he's able to hit a land on him. And he's like,
Land a
all
hit.
right, land a hit. That's what I meant. and then the other characters that we see, yeah, that's his dad in the background who the episode very first episode literally begins with his funeral. I want to say he passes on about halfway through the first season.
Yeah. Minor spoiler.
Minor spoiler, but like you know his death is going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
And then he recruits the wizard and she's really fun. And then his strategist, who's the little ginger kid who I love. He's probably my favorite character. His introductory episode had me sobbing at the end.
Mhm. It was a very good
And then,
episode.
yeah. And then there's his fiance, Alicia, who is also wonderful. And she seems to have her own ability. It's never implied whether or not she was also reincarnated,
Mm. I don't think
but
so.
she at least is very good at reading people.
Yes. She's very good at
Yeah.
reading people.
Mhm. And she's very smart, and she's a good fit for ours.
Mhm.
And the episode is about the season is about him like growing as a person and coming into his own, and then they get entangled into a war.
Which leads into season 2, which is the war.
Yeah, season 2 is the beginning of the war and his involvement as like an actual general.
Yep. It's a very, very good anime. Highly recommend it.
We do.
What would you rate it, Starlight?
I would give this triple S.
Triple S. All right. All right. Next anime. Ah. So the Misfit of Demon King Academy, season 2, part 2. We haven't fully finished season 2, part 2 yet, but from what we've
No.
seen so far, it's been really good. I actually introduced Starlight to this in preparation for season 2, part 2 coming out, and then we watched all the way up to season 2, part 2, and then we forgot about it, and then we started season 2, part 2 like a few weeks ago, and then we just forgot about it. We've been really enjoying this. It's another one of those
OP
OP main
protagonist.
characters, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very fun, and I especially like the character development in this anime as well,
Mhm.
especially from one of the antagonistic characters you meet early on. She gets a really good growth story in the second season, and I'm
Oh, no, this girl. Yeah. I thought you were talking about this girl, but no, it's this girl.
yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, the teacher.
Yep. She does get a really great moment of growth in season 2. It's really quite nice. It definitely has very harem-esque elements and not so great moments, kind of weird moments, in fact. But
Yeah,
other than
it's
that,
not gross so much as it's weird.
yeah, not gross, more weird, because they're supposed to be in like high school. But
And also for some reason the protagonist is like he's like a month old when he
yeah,
enrolls in high school, but because he is the Demon King reborn, he just matures way faster. It's like Twilight vampire logic.
yeah, it's interesting and weird and fine and whatever. It's just yeah. So because of a few hangups, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars instead of 5. What
Yeah.
would you rate it on our scale though?
I would give it a plus.
A plus. All right, 96 out of 96 or 97. All right,
Yeah. Because it is very fun.
it is very fun.
I love the premise. And Anos is a really fun guy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the character development, not just with that character, but with especially with the twins, is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And with Lei and Misa, their love story is adorable.
It's very adorable. Minor spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we still have so much anime to go through.
We do.
Okay, next one. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 3. We can just talk about the whole thing at this point, just to save
Yeah,
time.
yeah, since we yeah, because we did rewatch seasons 1 and 2 to
This
prep
year.
for finishing season 3.
Yep, because they released the second half of season 3.
They released, well, the first half of season 3 in the spring, and
Oh,
then the
that's right.
second half of season 3 in the summer.
That's right. I remember. Yep.
But it's a
Mm.
good season.
Mm.
I'm so glad that they're tying up more I'm so glad that they tied up more loose ends.
Oh, yeah. And they're introducing some new plot points in the hopes that the story will continue, which is nice. I really like it.
It's a this the 3rd season was really good.
Oh, so
It's
good.
very satisfying to see a lot of things come together,
Oh,
and
yeah. Honestly, season 3 was just kind of like a relax and build up season, it felt like.
yeah, especially after all of the
Season
carnage.
2, yeah. After all the carnage of season 2, oh my gosh. Sorry, I talked over you.
It's okay, yeah. After all of the carnage and pain that's dealt with in season 2,
Mhm.
and just after Rimuru finally gets to give the people involved what they have coming to them,
Yeah.
or at least most of them.
Yep.
And then season 3, he finally gets to do what he's been wanting to do forever,
Mhm.
and it's this whole big thing, and more people join his team.
Yeah, it's more of a city building season, and I really liked it after city building and like city management and country management season. It's really
Yeah.
nice after the first 2 seasons of being like constant struggle and chaos.
Yeah, just like kind of something to sit back and just be proud of where you've come.
Yeah, how far you've come,
So,
yeah. And so yeah, I season 1 and 2 really good. Season 3 excellent. They have not disappointed with this anime. Like
no.
it's just been what hit after hit after hit with this anime. Like I look forward to more from this anime. It's so good. Highly
Mhm.
recommend. I think this might
Yeah.
be my first Eli Plus anime.
Yes,
Yeah, I think so.
because it's a solid, it's
Solid
just
anime.
mhm.
Just a good anime, just all around.
Mhm. So if you
Rimuru.
haven't checked it out yet, we highly recommend that you do. It's got a good story. It's just really fun.
I always forget it's URU, not ARU.
Mhm.
We just call it Rimuru for short because
Yeah.
it's a freaking long name. Literally, that time I got
Or
reincarnated as a slime is ugh, too much to talk
and I
about.
know a lot of people also call it Tenshura, which is like an abbreviation of the Japanese name,
Yep.
but I like calling it Rimuru.
Yeah, because it gets the point across and it's like very obvious of like, oh yeah, Rimuru, the main character of that anime. Yeah, that anime.
And I have a Rimuru pillow filled with 5 Rimuru slime plushies
Mhm.
that Eli gave me as an anniversary present this year.
Yep, and she loves it.
I have it on my chair, so I see it every time I'm sitting over here, which is almost every day.
Mhm. Yeah, she likes it a lot, and so I'm just happy that she likes it.
Nice.
All right. We could talk all day about Rimuru probably, but we should keep moving because otherwise we're not going to get through all the other anime.
Mhm.
Um, we talked about Misfit and Rimuru. I'm just um check marking the anime I introduced Starlight to since we talked about some of them now already.
Yes.
All right, one of the other ones from this year,
That is really freaking good.
Kaiju number 8. Oh my goodness. Oh, I introduced this to my best friend. I introduced this anime and Solo Leveling to my best friend Preston, and he loves them both. He's not a big anime fan. He doesn't watch a lot of anime, but he said that he greatly enjoyed them both. Um, so if that isn't saying something, then yeah, I don't know what is. They're good animes. This
Yeah,
one, oh
no.
my gosh, the OP, the outro, oh, just I love how the OP is saying, I'm trapped in the abyss. And then the outro is, nobody got you the way I do. And it's just, it's answering the opening song. The outro song is answering the opening song. It's just so well done. Sorry.
It is really well done. I love the world building and the concept of kaiju hunters
Mm-hmm.
and just just all of the characters, especially Kafka. Kafka reminds me of Eli. That's part of why I love Kafka so much. He reminds me of Eli.
Yeah, and that's another reason I love this anime so much is that Kafka is a 30 some odd year old. And in Japan, they like to, I guess, joke about that's clever. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think they were talking about the outro answering the intro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very clever. It's very well done. Yeah, I this anime and there was one other anime that we'll be talking about soon uh is just a very good message of it's never too late to start something new. It's never too late to try again, even after you've failed. It's just, oh, because Kafka's like 30 some odd year old, and the Japanese like to joke about how 30 some odd year old people, or specifically guys, are old men. Um,
They make the same joke with women.
I guess that's true. Um,
That was something that Holly alluded to in Die Hard
fair.
before Sean cut her off.
Yeah, John McClane. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, um, all the characters, all the main characters, aside from like the captain, the vice captain, and the main character, are all like between like what 18 and 22 or something.
Yeah, they're all younger.
They're all very young compared to the main character who's like 31, which I'm also 30.
I think he's 32.
32, that's right. Yeah, which I just turned 31 this year. And the fact that this anime came out this year, I really needed this anime this year because holy crap, I'm trying really hard with my content creation. Um, and I am getting older. It's the age isn't what's causing me issues. It's mainly my MS. My multiple sclerosis is awful. But it's just that,
Just wish it on anyone.
yeah, would not wish multiple sclerosis even on my worst enemy, even on, yeah, I don't know. It's just multiple sclerosis is awful. It's just an awful, awful experience, and I have to deal with it the rest of my life. Um, but just that reminder that it's never too late, and that it's never too late to keep going, to keep trying, to start again. It really gave me hope with my content creation, um, to keep going. And I think that really is what helped me lead up to my huge growth in my content creation this year is that desire to keep trying, to try again, and the growth in my audience, which was pretty massive because I think I started like middle of this year with like 260 something subscribers, and now I'm in like 400 something. And so this anime just telling people, hey, keep trying, keep going. You're never too old. It's never too late. It just has such a good message. On top of the fact that it has really good action, really good animation, really good writing. The characters are good. And the relationships, the character growth, especially this girl, who's the typical rich, bratty girl. Her character arc, her character growth is so good.
So good. Oh, it's just like when all of that came to a head in that particular episode was so good.
It was good. Like this is a good anime. There's a reason I rated it 5 stars. What would you rate it on our scale, Starlight?
I would give it triple S plus.
Okay. All right.
I should also mention, because now Christmas is over, I wanted to get you a Kaiju No shirt for Christmas,
Aw.
but they were sold out of your size.
Aw, that's okay. We can see about getting one later. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an Eli. I'm gonna give it a 145.
All right. Yeah.
That's yeah. It's not gonna get the full 150. I want to see season 2 before I give it the full 150 because they left me hanging at the end of season 1.
They
They
did.
really did, and I
With the big cliffhanger after the credits, and then
ah
just like you know that Kafka's gonna be okay, but it's still kind of ambiguous about what exactly is going to happen.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, no, the last two episodes had me in tears.
yeah, me too. And so like I don't want to give it the full extra bonus points of 100 plus the 50 bonus points until we get season 2. Until we see season 2.
Yeah.
Until then, it gets the full Eli score of 145, and then we'll see. And that's probably because and that's because it had such an important message for me, you know,
Mhm.
which I really loved. Such a good anime. All right. Next one is a little bit darker of a turn. um
Ah, yes. No longer allowed in another world. We were hesitant to start this one at first,
yes.
just because of the way that the original premise had been written.
Yeah, the synopsis was very like poorly written at first. They changed it like I think a few days after it released. It sounded much darker than it actually is. And I decided to watch the first couple episodes or first episode or something like that and it was like, "Holy crap.
This is
This is
actually
actually
really fun.
good. Why do they make it sound so dark in the synopsis?"
I think to fit with the cynical view of the main character.
Yeah, but the thing is it doesn't work when you're trying to do that with and they figured that out, but that's why they changed the synopsis to
Yeah.
make it sound more happy go lucky because holy crap, it was so dark at first. The synopsis was so dark at first. But now it sounds so happy go lucky and it's so fun. It's so cute.
It's very fun. It's very endearing.
Mhm.
And despite the fact that Sensei, the main character, doesn't really want to do anything, he helps other people around him unlock their potential. And it's very apparent when he unlocks his actual unique skill.
Starlight, do you want to let the dog out, please? He do be whining.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very apparent when he unlocks his unique skill. There's a reason why this anime is called what it is, and that's all I'm going to say to avoid spoilers. But it's a very good anime. Oh, like it just gets really good. It gets really good toward the middle and ending of the season. I definitely would recommend this to people. Just if people do have you know, history of, you know, this or those kind of thoughts, do be careful. It's it does have those kind of elements because the main character doesn't want to be in this world. He does not want to be in this world, so he's constantly trying to not be in this world. Ooh, thank you. So he's constantly trying to be in not be in this world and yeah. So if you had experience with that kind of thing and thoughts, be careful with it. I definitely have had history of that kind of stuff and thoughts. Uh, but I had a good time with it because it was just very lighthearted. It was nice.
Yeah, so definitely make sure that your mental health is in a good spot before starting this if you're sensitive to that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it is worth it.
Yep. So, yeah, it's a pretty fun anime. I enjoy it. What would you give it, Starlight?
I would give it a S plus.
S plus? That's yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, it was very fun. I like the way that it's animated. The art style's really nice. Yeah, and the when he unlocks his
Oh
ability,
yeah.
it's such a good moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time he uses that ability is great.
So good. Very enjoyable. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. We recommend it. Definitely.
Mhm.
All right. Moving on. This one, it's not bad, not terrible, or not terrible, not great.
Yeah, it's mid.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars because I like where they're going with it, but it just kind of felt like it was a little all over the place at times.
Yeah.
I felt like I know where they were going with it, but it just it I feel like it needed more episodes to tell what it was trying to tell for the first
I
season.
agree. I agree with that.
And that's the only reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5 stars. Because other than
Mhm.
that, the animation's decent. The writing's other than that is not bad.
I,
Um,
the premise is really interesting
Premise is
too.
really interesting too. Yeah. Basically, he's a human who works in the Demon Lord's army because he was adopted by someone he calls his grandfather, who was a demon in the Demon Lord's army. Who and now he pretends to be a demon, and
Yeah,
he's
and there's one person at the start of the anime, there's one person alive who knows his secret, and it's I think like his mentor.
his direct superior in the army.
Yeah, his direct superior. She's the only one who knows at first.
Yep, because she knew his grandfather well.
Yep.
And other than that, like there's not much to talk about it. Typical
But
OP main character. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's a different experience, and it's fun.
it is a different experience. There were some loose ends I feel like they could have tied up better,
Yeah,
but like we said, it's something that we feel like should have gotten more episodes.
yeah. I think they just needed more episodes in the first season, and they
Yeah.
just they may not have paced it well. It was good overall though. What would you rate it?
I would rate it a B, a solid B.
I can agree with this. All right. Very good anime, but just they needed a bit more time on it. The pacing needed more. They needed better pacing. There we go. This next one. Oh boy. This one is very good. Did I never
Oh,
rate
I
this one?
love this
I
one.
meant to rate this one. There we go. 5 stars. I have little to no complaints about this one, I'm pretty sure.
It's so good.
So good. Like, didn't they already announce a season 2 was on its way?
They did,
Yeah.
like, literally at the end of the last episode, they said that there would be a season 2.
Yep.
It's such a good story.
Such a good story. Very good. I typically mainly watch isekais, but this is a fantasy anime that I was just like, oh, I'll give it a try. I was like, oh, I was pleasantly surprised.
It's got a really good message about, like, "Oh, congratulations, King's dog."
Off topic, but I just beat the gym leader Opal first try without getting question wrong or Gigantamaxing. I only use a single meltdown. Very nice, Kingstog. Very off topic, but yes, very nice. Um, Somehow.
Yeah.
Very nice. But yeah, so this very very different anime. There haven't been many like it. if
There
any.
are some Harry Potter vibes to it,
Very Harry Potter vibes, yes.
but it's very unique.
Yes, it's a very unique anime, and I think that's part of the reason why it did so well.
Because it's a unique premise, and the main character, for whatever reason, can't use magic, but he is really good with a sword.
He's
And so
really
the
good with the
way that
sword.
his game plan for like graduating is just fighting as many monsters as humanly possible.
Or inhumanly possible, since he's like,
He is ridiculously good with the sword.
yeah,
He is a beast.
yeah, he's,
Will Surfort is a beast.
mm-hmm, he is very strong. He is very, very strong. Um,
Yeah, that tournament scene
oh,
where it was playing the OP and he was tearing that one guy a new one.
oof,
So good.
so good. It just, yeah, this is a good anime. I can't say anything other than that. It was a good anime. It was a good watch. I can't wait for season 2. Can't wait to
I'm
see where
so
they
excited
go.
for season 2,
They had a lot of,
especially with like some of the things that happen
yeah.
at the end.
I was just about to say they had a lot of decent like storylines, plot lines, plot threads, and like different things that could happen in season 2. I'm excited to see what they do and where they go with it. I'm excited. This is a good anime. It's a unique anime, and it's something that could go far if they do well with it.
I want to see them go far.
Me too. It's very fun. My favorite thing, and the thing that at least gives it an A from me, is Kiki. This little cat.
Kiki,
This little
my
cat.
beloved.
This little cat is peak comedic relief right here.
His carbuncle familiar.
Yep.
She is a gift.
She is peak comedic relief. She is the best kitty. I love her, and I can't wait to see more of her. She's the best cat. Best
Yeah.
cat carbuncle familiar thing. Very good. At least gives it an A. What do you think? What is your rating?
I would give it an S minus.
I can agree with this. Like I said, minimum of an A, but yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so just it's the animation, the art style, the music, it's all beautifully done. Gorgeous. There's one or two little things that I feel like the show could do without. Like the one episode where his classmate tried to ask him out on a date, but his roommate like friend zoned her the whole time.
That was actually kind of funny, to be honest.
It was funny, but I just like the way he went about it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And just like the implication was a little strange,
Yeah.
but it was funny.
Yeah.
That poor girl. Anyway, yeah, just aside from that, it's just a good story, and romance isn't really the focus anyway, so it's a
Yeah.
very small thing.
Yeah, it's a
But
very minor detail of the story,
yeah,
especially
and
because
I
he
would
has
happily
his eyes on someone else anyway.
like we're not entirely sure what their relationship is, but he's trying to get to the
She
same level as
literally
his
has
childhood
plushies
friend.
of him on her bed.
I'm pretty sure they'll end up together in some form.
Yes. And that's not even a spoiler. That's in like the outro of like the first episode. That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. Anyway, yeah, it's just a good. I will happily give it a higher rating. If when season 2 comes out and it hopefully it delivers back on what we're waiting for.
Yep.
I want to see development from not just Will, but from his classmates, especially that fire-headed jerk.
Yep. This guy.
I can't wait to see his growth
Yep.
too.
He needs to have a Zuko arc.
It's implied he might get one.
Yep. And so I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be fun.
Mhm.
All right. Anything else you want to say about that one?
No, I think we've said everything we need to. It's a
All right.
good story. I love it to pieces.
All right. Next one. I want to give this a 4. At least on Crunchyroll.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know why. I just something. I think it partly was all the girls throwing themselves at him.
Yeah.
It was weird to me. But
This other one, aside from that, this is an adorable story. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, they weren't throwing themselves at him, but you could tell.
No. Yeah.
I think I'll give it like
If
a 90 something. Anyway, continue.
yeah. But it's just really cute story about a guy who gets reincarnated in a new world, basically as an apology.
Yep. I don't remember exactly why, but yeah. It
He
seemed
was
like,
accidentally killed by a god, and the
oh,
god was like,
right.
"I'm going to put you in this new world. You'll get some cool powers. You'll start off basically where you were before, maybe a little younger. I'm very sorry about what happened."
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he was like cleaning up some cosmic mess or something like that.
Yeah. And so he ends up in this new world and he meets these twins
Hmm. In the forest where he reincarnates at.
and he finds out that they are overpowered AF.
Yep, just as much, if not more so, than him.
Yeah. And he takes it upon himself to look after them, and they don't call him dad, they refer to him as their big brother.
Minor spoilers, because that's like 5 or 6 episodes in, but yeah.
Yeah. But he's acknowledged as their guardian at the very
Yes.
least.
Yeah. And we won't talk about anything else about their relationship or anything else about that, but it's a very interesting thing, and um the whole plot and reason why he finds them and how he finds them, it gets revealed, and it's actually really interesting and well done.
Yeah. And just the whole premise is really cute. He's a good parental figure, even
Yep,
if not
guardian
he's like a
figure.
good guardian figure. Sorry.
Yep.
Good guardian figure to these kids. I know.
So many
It's
different anime
ridiculous.
characters being able to destroy the planet or something. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. But it's a really good story.
It's really a feel good story. It's a
Yeah.
feel good adventuring with little siblings story.
Yeah. With two little siblings that can actually hold on their own for the most part. And people will get a kick out of this. We are going to talk about this anime later, but the main character has the same voice actor in the English anime as Hajime Nagamo from Arifureta. And it's so funny to me that he goes from like edgy, grumpy dude to I'm just looking after these kids.
Yep, that was something that really cracked me up when we found that out. I loved it. It was hilarious. Uh, but yeah, I'd give this like a 95,
Yeah.
like
So
a
that puts
solid
it,
A.
yeah, solid A. It's not a perfect story by any means, but it is a feel good story.
It's a feel good, fun story. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
we need to speed it up a little bit. We still have so many left.
I know. Oh my goodness.
All right, it's getting late too.
Mhm. I think I grabbed some bread.
Mm-hmm. All right. Asen newbie adventurer trained to death by the most powerful party became invincible. So this one is similar to Kaiju number 8 in that this character is over 30, but he's starting out as an adventurer. So it's just another one of those that has the what's the word? I'm getting tired and I'm having trouble thinking of words.
Where they think he's too old or
Where it has the message. There we go. It has a good message
yeah.
of you're never too old to start. The other one, Kaiju number 8 has you're never too old to start, you're never too old to try again. This one has you're never too old to start. and it's just very good. I like it a lot. He was a like a receptionist
The Adventurers
at the
Guild.
Venturers Guild, and his like he was in his 30s, and then he decided to be trained, and they go through this throughout the entire season about why and how and et cetera, how it all happened. He decided to be trained by the most powerful party, the S class party, and he became invincible, literally.
It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually a really good anime. It's another kind of feel good anime of just like being with your friends, being kind to people around you, and just I don't know. It's just a good
And
one.
there's another spoiled rich girl in pigtails who gets a good character growth moment.
Yep, blonde girl right here.
Yeah, Angelica. I do think it's very funny that that's what her name is.
True. Uh, I think it's a good one. I give it 5 stars. I really liked it, probably because of the message again.
Mm.
I would say it's at least like an S plus maybe.
Yeah, give it an S.
Okay.
I think the unspoken like chemistry between him and the dark elf lady
Yeah,
is
I
adorable.
love it so much. The chemistry between those two, it really builds up in a natural, good, fun way between the dark elf lady and him. And it's just a good, feel good, happy story.
Yeah.
All right, we need to start speeding along a little bit. It is getting late for us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip over two animes, Mecha Ude and Shangri-La.
Yeah, because we technically never finished either of those.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about them next year or something.
Yeah.
All right, Nobody's Way Up to an Exploration Hero. I never rated this, but I will give it 4 stars.
It's a cute high schooler adventuring story.
It definitely has some weird elements.
Yeah. I definitely agree there. But the story overall is really good. It's really good to see Kaito, the main character, grow as a character.
Hmm.
And
Specifically, the
he
outro is like very weird to me.
Oh yeah.
um, like that's the biggest thing of like, they knew what they were doing with this. They know what they're doing with this, and they did it anyway. Okay, that's a little weird, but fine. The anime at least is still decent, and I can skip the outro.
Yes.
But I will say, it's an interesting, kind of similar vein of like solo leveling, where dungeons appeared on Earth
Mhm.
and people explore it and they can grow stronger. Except, yeah, it's different from solo leveling in that way. People in
Yeah,
this
it's
world,
definitely not as intense
yeah,
as solo leveling because these are high school kids.
yeah, it's much more of a kind of feel good, happy, like, um, yeah, just they want to improve their lives and the lives of their friends, kind of thing, and they gain
Yeah.
new friends along the way.
Yeah. It is definitely a feel good kind of story.
Yeah,
I would give it an A minus.
A minus. All right, yeah, I'll accept that. All right. The next one. The next one's good. This one,
Yes.
I think I have to give it 5 stars. They did a really good job in the writing in this one. I don't remember having any complaints about this one.
No,
That
it's such a good
so
story.
that means it has a minimum of an S, so a minimum of
Yes.
100 points.
It's a
Um,
very good story. Just I love the relationship, the chemistry between Dahlia and I want is his name Wolf?
I want to say his name is Wolf. Yes.
Yeah. Like nothing's blatantly romantic by any means.
Mm-hmm.
but there's like implication that they may grow to fall in love with each other later on.
Yep.
And just it's a good feel good thing. It
It
reminds
starts
me
off not so feel good. The first like 4 or 5 episodes,
two
it's
or three.
2 or 3. Okay,
Yeah.
first few episodes, it's oof. It's a bit rough. It's a bit rough getting started. That's probably why it has a 4.5 average rating, because people don't like the first few episodes. Sorry, I had to mute and cough. um, they probably didn't like the first few episodes. It's definitely a rough start, but there's a
But it's worth
payoff.
it.
And that's the thing about good writing, is they have those rough parts, and then they have the payoff afterwards. You just have to get through the rough parts. And this one really does have the most excellent payoff, because it just gets better and better and better for her. And it's just another feel good, like, even when life seems like it's falling apart and life sucks, everything's going to be okay. And it's just got that really good message of it. Yep.
It's really good. I would give it an S easy.
Yeah.
I really hope that they bring it back for a second season. I want to see more of Dahlia.
Yeah. I agree. It's a very good anime. All right, moving on. Ah, yes. This one. I want to give this one a 4. So that means its minimum can be 80 points.
Yeah, it was decent. Premise of the story was really cool.
Yeah, the premise of the story was really good. There were some really weird moments.
Yeah.
Uh, definitely, definitely some weird moments. Um, I like the story. It's pretty well written overall, except for probably a few parts, I think could have
Yeah.
been written better. I don't want to get into super specifics. I don't want to do this isn't a spoiler stream. This is just talking about animes, just trying to recommend them to people, basically.
Yeah.
um yeah, there's not really much to talk about. It's not really an isekai, it's a world reset anime. Like a alternate dimension anime, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's almost literally what happens to this guy.
Yeah.
He's sent to an alternate dimension where humanity does not win.
Against the demons and other creatures. And that happens in like the first episode, so that's not much of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Um, it's decent. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't say it's
At
excellent.
least for the unique premise.
Yes, I would recommend it for the unique premise. I would say maybe like a C plus, maybe a B minus.
I'd say B minus.
Yeah, along with Mushoku Tensei and Remonster,
Yeah.
because it has an interesting premise. It's really unique. It just, to me, it didn't really. It just really, what's the word? What am I going for here? The pacing. It just,
Yeah, the pacing is very off.
yeah, it just felt really weirdly paced. Unless there's more to the story that I don't know, and I will happily update my score if and when we get a season 2. And that is if and when, because a lot of animes do not get a season 2. Okay. Like, it's not an excellent anime, but it is worth a watch. All right, this next one I really liked a lot. Like, I really liked this next one. Failure frame. I gave 5 stars. So that means at minimum it gets 100 points. Minimum it gets S for me. Anyway, would you like to talk about it, Starlight?
Sure. It's another isekai where it's not just the class, it's not just the individual, it's like his entire class.
Mm-hmm.
His entire class gets teleported to this other world. They're given power, they're get ranked for their abilities, and the main character has the lowest out of all of his classmates, and he is cast out as useless.
Yep.
He's literally thrown into the pits of hell.
Yep, and it's the anime is called Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells.
Because his spells are low level, but from the way he's able to use them, he levels them up very quickly.
Yep, because he's thrown into the abyss, basically, into the failure frame. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know. It might have an actual different name. I don't remember. But
Yeah.
and then he powers those skills up by killing everything with them.
hmm
Another long name, indeed, King Saw.
Yeah, we just call it failure frame.
Yeah, at least they give it to us with that failure frame.
Yep.
It has its kind of gross moments.
There's a
Mainly
couple
the
of gross moments.
yeah, mainly the bad guys are typical evil, gross bad guys. They're typical evil, gross bad guys. Main characters, the typical overpowered protagonists. Guess what
And
happens to
he's a
those
bit of
gross
an
bad
edgelord.
guys? Yes, and main character's a bit of an edgelord. But guess what happens to those gross bad guys? You guessed it. There you go. But he takes care of the people in his party. He really cares for them because they care for him.
And they remind him of his family.
Yep.
The family that loved him.
Yep. Back on Earth. This elven girl really has the hots for him.
She does, like
That's a minor spoiler, but yeah. Phew.
she falls in love with him. It's very sweet.
It's actually a really sweet moment, honestly.
And
As much as it
he
can't like as much as some animes can be gross, and this anime gets a little over the line at some points. Overall, it's really sweet the way they interact. Anyway, sorry, you're saying.
yeah, just the relationship between them is really nice, and between the other party members, especially between oh, I love his slime.
Yes.
Piggymaru is best boy.
Piggymaru is best boy, and that's why this gets at least a B plus for me because of Piggymaru.
Yeah.
Piggymaru and Elf Girl, their characters definitely get this at least to an A minus, I think.
Yeah, because they definitely bring some needed, well, especially with Piggymaru,
Piggymaru especially.
bring in some much needed levity
Yeah.
to how intense things can get.
This is a
Like nothing is
very intense anime.
yeah.
Sorry.
Nothing is explicit, but there are definitely implications of many different types of abuse, not just towards the main character, but towards other classmates of his.
And towards women and girls especially.
Yeah, and that's why I have a much harder time with it
Mhm.
as a woman.
Yes. But the main character overpowers all. He's great. He's awesome.
That's true.
And he's protecting people. And that's the important thing. That's the thing I keep in mind when I watch this anime is that he'll protect the people he cares about no matter what. But yeah, it's a fun anime. I definitely would say it's at least an A minus. What would you give it?
I'd give it an A minus as well.
All right.
The OP goes really
It
hard.
does go really hard. I love the OP. Ooh, that might bump it up to an A actually. I forgot about the OP being really good. Yeah. All right, failure frame A95. Good anime. The next one. Oh, the next one.
Ah,
Yes.
yes. Oh.
I'm gonna give it a 4 star just because it has room to grow.
It
Uh,
It
does.
does.
it's a very funny anime where the main character is not overpowered, but everyone thinks he is. Let This Grieving Soul Retire is a very funny anime. His allies, his party members are extremely strong and overpowered, but he's not. He relies on relics, but everyone thinks he's like the strongest ever. And he just wants to retire. He doesn't want to be the guild leader. He doesn't want to do all these things. He just wants to retire and just live out his life. He doesn't want to do all this nonsense, but everyone keeps dragging him into nonsense. And it's
Because as it
hilarious.
happens, he's he's unintentionally really good at figuring out when things are going wrong, and it's not necessarily because he's looking for it. It just so happens to line up with what's happening around him.
Yeah, the way I explain these kind of characters and another character that we'll talk about later is his luck stat is triple maxed. He's got insanely high luck stats, so he just bumbles into things randomly and then he just finds things out and things just work out for him. And it's hilarious. And he's like apparently now the strongest hunter in the world. Because it's another fantasy anime where they hunt in dungeons and stuff, and so he's the strongest dungeon hunter. It's just hilarious. Seems relatable indeed, King's Dog indeed. Uh, this poor guy. He just wants to retire, and no one will let him. And it's just very funny. I
It is
really
very
like this
funny.
anime.
I do hope it gets a second season because I would like to see more of the
Oh,
characters,
absolutely.
especially the giant
Giant
armor
armor
guy.
guy.
I want
Yeah.
to meet him so bad
Yeah.
because we didn't get to see him at all.
No, we saw him at the end of the last episode.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all. And the OP. The OP and the end of the last episode. All we saw of him. So I until we see more of that, I'm gonna give it a 93 or a 94 A minus. What do you think?
I think that's a good spot for it. A minus.
Okay. Moving on to an actually really good anime. One we both really liked that could be better.
Oh,
Ah,
yes.
yes.
Goodbye Dragon Life.
This one was really
It
good.
was really good. It had some moments where it could be better and could be written better and just probably paced better. But overall, I think it's a really good anime, and I'd like to give it at least an 89, but let's talk about it first.
Yeah. So the premise is it's an ancient dragon who lets himself be killed by the hero after it's implied the hero betrays him,
Yep.
and he's content with giving up on life, but he's reborn instead as a human.
Yep. He's reincarnated as a human in the same world, and he's born into this village and finds people that he can care about. And finds us. Yeah, it's just a really good feel good anime. Honestly, it's another feel good anime that
It has a lot of action.
a lot of action, a lot of action, but it's really fun, really feel good, and just I feel like they could have done a few parts better, but it was enjoyable. It was definitely
Yes.
enjoyable.
Yeah, I would give it a minus easy.
Easy. All right. All right.
Was that the one where we were watching that last episode? You kept asking me if I was the main character, if I was that character, because I kept guessing what they were gonna say. No, I think it was a different one.
I don't remember. It's late and it's been a few days. So, all right, let's continue on. We're getting through this and I'd like to eat some food soonish. Yes, next one. This next one's really good. I think I'm going to give it a 5 star.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Minimum of 95 score. Would you like to start?
really unique adventuring concept
Mhm.
is that there are rifts, I think, that open up
Yeah. That's a good name. I don't remember the
Where
exact name.
demons come and you have to fight them, but you can be assigned to a specific class, and the main character, Noelle, is assigned to the weakest class, a talker, which is,
Uh,
as Eli puts it, a
a
hyperbard.
hyper bard, because you can really buff your allies a lot by telling them what to do. It's really good. And with the rift things, if no one clears the rifts can pop because they're just bubbles on a landscape. The rifts can pop, and then the demons can invade the world. So people have to clear the rifts.
Yep. And Noel's thing is that his grandfather was one of the most excellent. They're called seekers in this one.
Hmm.
The adventures are called seekers. He was one of the most powerful seekers ever, and he gave his life saving Noel and trained him quite roughly.
Yep.
Just because he's a talker in the weakest class, he needs to depend on more than just his skills as a talker to survive. So he's very cutthroat
Yep.
to the point where he is more often um
Regarded as the
like
bad
more than
guy.
once, yeah, regarded as a bad guy, and frequently a lot of snake symbolism
Yep.
is associated with him very heavily throughout the series.
Yeah, it's actually really well done. That's part of the reason I want to give it a 5 stars, because the symbolism, the main character, just the energy he has, the unwavering commitment and desire he has, and then the people he picks up along the way. It's just excellent.
Yeah. No, I love the other characters and just really good moments.
Hmm.
Yeah. I can't go into that without giving spoilers, but
Yeah,
there's like
there's some really good moments in this anime that are just oh, especially with this guy in the background with
oh,
his
Pinocchio.
cousin,
I love him.
Oh, I think it was his cousin, right? Something like that. His family
They were
member, something like that.
it was mob family,
Yeah.
mafia family kind of thing. He was dealing with that, and that was really
That
good.
was a really good moment. Oh my gosh, I love that moment. That was so good. Oh, just that the dynamic between this character and another character, and him talking about that dynamic was just oof, so good. So I'd give it at least a 95. What would you give it?
I give it a 95.
Easy 95?
I Yeah, I hope it gets picked up for a second season because
Agreed.
I want to see more,
Agreed.
especially with the way they ended the first season.
Yeah, they ended it with a major cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's just like I want to see these characters grow and depend on each other.
Oh, this next one. Oh gosh. Okay. So,
Yes.
this one I'm going to talk about a fair amount because I actually have good memories of this. My memory sucks, but I watched this one a good amount. Plus, we've watched this one. So I've watched this one twice without Starlight, and then I've watched it once with Starlights. Um, this anime is one of the best isekai animes I've ever watched, and that's saying something. I'm comparing it to Rimuru. It's not as good as Rimuru, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely getting at least a double S, maybe a triple S. This anime is really, oh my gosh. Main character has everything taken from him constantly, and he just works so hard to build something with his life, and um he finds people along the way and helps them build a life, and they just make this happy family of found people, and that's something that I do a lot in my life because I'm someone who ascribes by family or friends are the family that you choose for yourselves, because it's so true. And this anime just really hits home for me on that. And it's just really fun, really enjoyable, and
Payoff is
the
great.
payoff on several scenes in season 1 and season 2. So I
Yeah.
watched season 1 3 years ago. Season 2 just came out this season. We just finished season two's finale like this week. I think. This week?
Yep.
This week. We just finished season two's finale this week, and oh my gosh. I after 3 years, it just feels good, you know, after 3 years to finally see season 2 and to see some of those plot points and plot threads and all that stuff pay off. It's such a good anime, and it just has such a good another good message of just caring about the people around you no matter what your situation is. Even if everything is falling apart around you, you can still find the strength to care about the people around you. And it's just so good. Anyway, Starlight, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, no, it's just one of those, especially with all the crap that Rio goes through, the payoff makes everything so much worth it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Especially when you get to a certain reveal near the end of season 2,
Mm-hmm.
and you finally get to see a certain thing happen.
Mm-hmm. Surage's Tsuki, Spirit Chronicles. Sorry, I took a bite of bread because I'm hungry.
I would easily give it a SS plus
Mm,
because its story is good, and once you the feel good moments, not just
how
yeah,
about
especially in
triple
the
S
first season.
minus? Our first triple S
Triple
minus.
S minus. I think that's a fair.
It's our first triple S minus. It's such a good anime. Very enjoyable. I cannot say enough how good this anime is. Highly recommend it to people. There we go. Very good anime. Very good anime. Love it. I literally waited 3 years for season 2 and I was not disappointed.
No,
Maybe
it was good.
minorly at a certain point, but overall, season 2 was really good. It was a really good season. Loved it.
And hopefully season 3 will continue to deliver.
Yeah, hopefully season 2 won't be 3 years. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh, we'll see. All right, healer who was banished. The healer
This
who was
one,
banished from his party is, in fact, the strongest. I'm going to give it a 4, so that gives us a minimum of 80.
yeah, it was solid,
Yeah, it was solid.
but I think there are things that there could have been improved upon.
Yeah, especially toward the end, it definitely felt kind of rushed in the last few episodes.
It did have a rushed sort of thing.
It felt very
And
rushed.
if it does get picked up for a second season, because it did imply that like it wanted to have a second season,
Yep.
like hopefully that'll pick up on some of those loose ends.
Mm-hmm. It just felt very rushed for what that was building up the entire season.
Yeah,
I think they needed to split season 1 into 2 seasons.
yeah, I feel like that would have done it a lot better.
Like, they needed to do a second 12 episode season to really get it across, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. It's a very good anime, though. Main character is a quote unquote weak healer.
Ignoramus, even.
Yes, that's what they call him a lot at the beginning. Um, he can only cast one healing spell. But aside from that, he's ridiculously strong. He's got the skills of every single class. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Mm-hmm. He can't do like magic or anything of other classes or magical skills, but he can find traps. He can fight on the front line with a dagger, like a rogue or a warrior. He's as strong as a warrior. He's a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, you never figure out what the deal is with his overpowered Super Saiyan mode.
Yeah, which they'll probably hopefully explain in season 2.
Yeah, that's
Because that only
I hope
happens
so.
twice in season 1.
Yeah.
It was only when this girl was in trouble.
Yep.
overall, think it's an enjoyable anime. They just needed more time.
They did need more time, so I would give it a B.
Yeah.
It's not bad, it's just a little rushed.
Mm-hmm. All right. And we can talk about all 3 seasons of this. Even though we haven't finished season 3 yet.
Ah, yes.
So this is peak trash anime.
It is peak trash.
And I mean that in a very endearing way. Because you're going in expecting trash, and you get trash, but it's enjoyable.
It is enjoyable.
It is an enjoyable ride. The main character is a typical overpowered main character. He very much is an edgelord. He learns to care about people again. It's another harem anime. That's why another reason why I call it trash anime.
Yeah. It is very much indicated that his priority is the vampire girl,
Yep.
Yue.
Yep.
Like, she's the one person who has his whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have relationships with the other girls too.
Yep. He brings Magitech into a world of like magical fantasy. It's pretty cool. I like
It is pretty cool.
It has a really interesting premise and concepts. It's a decent anime overall. And then, like I said, when I say peak trash anime, I mean it in an endearing way.
If you're gonna go into it, be prepared for a bit of trash.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I and others complain about is the skipping over his powering up sequence. That should have been season 1. Probably. They skip over his entire power up sequence.
Because they want you to meet the waifus.
Yep. They wanted to skip straight to the girls. And that's another reason I call it a typical trash harem anime. Because you don't get to see how much effort and time he put into becoming as strong as he is. He was in there for months. He was down in the depths of a labyrinth for months. And you don't get to see that. They just skip over it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really sad. But it is a good it is a good anime. It's worth a watch. Just bear in mind that it does have this content warning down here.
Yep. So if those kind of things aren't your cup of tea, we would not recommend watching it.
Mm-hmm. It's got a lot of funny moments, a lot of enjoyable, like endearing, happy moments.
Oh yeah. There was a really good moment recently with the dragon lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I respect this character so much more for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love Shia to bits. I think she's my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would give it. Oh my gosh, what would I give Arifureta?
I would give it at least like at least a B plus, maybe an A minus.
A minus, easy A minus for me.
Yeah. Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. Decent anime, worth a watch. You got nothing else.
And the payoff for the thing for how he ends up in the labyrinth is pretty good.
Oh yeah, some of the payoffs of some of the awful things that happen to him are pretty excellent. It's enjoyable. There is definitely that.
Yeah. Because he does get that eventually.
Mm-hmm. Minor spoilers, but just to say it, it's worth it. Okay. I'm gonna cover the high dive animes last and together.
Okay.
So we'll skip those for now. Demon Lord Retry was was an immense disappointment. So we're now on to new anime to us. This past year, this was an immense disappointment. Season 1 started off so excellently. I loved season 1 to the point that Starlight and I watched season 1 and started watching season 1 together, and I finished watching season 1 together because we saw that season 2 was coming out. And I wanted to see, okay, let's see how good the season 2 is. So I finished watching season 1. I started watching season 2. I was disappointed. The animation, the art style, the writing, everything. It's a different studio. It's been like 5 or 6 years since the first season came out or something like that. And so they had to get to a different studio. And it was just an immense disappointment. And a lot of fans on like Reddit and other review sites are echoing these statements of just like, holy crap, this season 2 sucks. And I just like, if you're not even going to try to recreate what people enjoyed, make it a separate anime. Because the biggest thing is they wanted to like base it off of the manga, the manhwa, instead of the light novel like the first season was. The second season they wanted to do the manga. But a lot of people got used to the first season and really liked the first season. The art style, the animation. But it just oh my gosh, the animation in the second season, it looks so childish. It looks like something you'd see on Yu-Gi-Oh! From like the 2000s. Instead of something you'd see in this edgy, more dark anime from season 1. It's like the difference between Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Bleach, I think. No, not Bleach. What am I thinking of? What is that in my brain? What was that other one from the 2010s? I don't remember. Fairy Tail? No, Fairy Tail had a lot more childish animation as well. Okay, I'll say this. The difference between Yu-Gi-Oh! No, even better. The difference between Fairy Tail animation and solo leveling animation.
Which, spoiler alert, was made by the same production company.
Uh-huh. And that's not to cast shade on them. That's just to say they've improved a lot.
They have grown
from their early days with Fairy Tail, which we actually watched Fairy Tail. We're gonna talk about Fairy Tail soon. We rewatched Fairy Tail, or I introduced Starlight to Fairy Tail this year.
No, we're rewatching it because I've watched it before too.
Oh, why is it under I introduced it to you
Oh.
instead of rewatched?
I don't know. I think that was my mistake.
Oh no, I see. Yeah, okay, I fixed it. There was a checkbox that had taken over the space between rewatched and anime I introduced you to.
Oh, okay. And that's why.
Yep, I figured it out though. We're good. So yeah, it was just very, very sad. Because it was like watching Solo Leveling and then in the same anime watching the first episode or the first season of Fairy Tail.
And they were like, what?
Yeah, and it's just like, what the crap is happening? This is not the same at all. Where's the dark? Where's the edge? And it was just very disappointing for me and a lot of other fans. Season 2 was a major disappointment for Demon Lord Retry. I say that Demon Lord Retry Season 1 is really good. And if people want to watch it, you can watch it.
It makes me think of like what a lot of people say about Black Butler Season 2. Some people either really love it or they go, there is no Black Butler Season 2.
It's like Command and Conquer 4. We don't talk about Command and Conquer 4. What Command and Conquer 4? There is no Command and Conquer 4. What are you talking about? So for me, since I'm the only one that's watched both of them, I'm gonna give season 1 an S minus. Um, and then season 2, we're going down to a D plus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is low.
It was really bad. It was
No, I believe you.
really bad. Oh, okay. Now we're getting to some good stuff. Okay. Now we're okay. We've bottomed out, folks. That's the worst anime we'll talk about all night. We have bottomed out. Actually, let's see. Oh, it's higher than Banished Former Hero. Should it deserve that? Yeah, I think it deserves being higher than Strongest Tank, the Labyrinth Raids, and Banished Former Hero. Yeah, I'll accept that. So
that is acceptable.
yeah, so we've talked about the bottom 3 worst animes of the night. We're done. It's all good animes from this point on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna skip to a slightly not as good anime, and then we can just talk about the just good anime for the rest of the night. We're gonna skip to Irregular at Magic High School.
Yes.
Irregular at
This
Magic
one
High
isn't
School.
terrible.
Let's go, Kingstock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying, Starlight?
I would say this one isn't terrible, but we still don't know if the two of them are actually siblings.
Yeah, they keep flip-flopping, it feels like, on whether the main characters are siblings or not, because it feels like, oh, they're not actually siblings. Oh wait, are they actually siblings? What the frick is going on here? It's really weird.
It gives me whiplash.
Yeah, it's very like, because the main characters are love interests, but they're quote unquote faking being siblings, but they aren't, but they are, but they aren't. It's really weird. So that's the only reason it gets a 4-star on Crunchyroll for me instead of 5-star, because it just feels like the original writer couldn't decide whether they were or weren't.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen people call it Harry Potter incest.
yeah.
But aside from that, I do really like the concept of the show. That it's
Yep.
like sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, it's like modern day plus 200 years mixed with like magical
Not
fantasy.
even 200 years. They're about to start the 22nd century.
Oh, I thought it was like 2200. It's 2100?
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, like 100 years or so. It is, yeah, it's like future day, futuristic magic stuff mixed with or futuristic sci-fi stuff mixed with magical stuff. It's Magitech on Earth. It's really interesting. And they actually try to bring some actual science in to kind of like talk with or like kind of like what was it? What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for here? They try to bring in some like scientific explanations for the reason some magic works the way it does, and it's actually a really interesting thought experiment.
Yeah, they literally bring one of the biggest points of string theory, of specifically M theory, string theory, into it, and I'm like, hold on. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, they bring actual scientific concepts and ideas into this show to like try and explain some of this magic stuff, and it's like, this is actually a really cool thought concept and thought idea. This is so unique. It's a very unique anime. Main character, typical OP character though. That's very typical of this. Yeah, that's what it is. Main character is extremely OP. Expect that. But other than that, the magic system is really cool and interesting and fun, unique. It's a high school anime. It's literally in the name. Regular at Magic High School. I really like it though. It's aside from the couple of hangups, there's a lot of unique concepts and ideas in it, and it's very fun and interesting.
It is a very interesting way to think about magic. I will give it that.
So I give it 4 stars on Crunchyroll, so that means we have a minimum of 80. So what are we gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give it a B plus.
B plus, so 86 to 89. All right.
Maybe A minus. I want to put it above Remonster for sure.
That's fair. It is above Remonster at B plus. Remonster's at B minus.
Oh, that okay. So B plus, yeah.
Okay.
I forgot. I didn't remember which B you put.
It's fine. That's why I'm keeping track. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
It's a decent anime. We recommend it. Just keep in mind that it feels like the original author couldn't make up their mind on whether the main characters are related or not. So just keep that in mind. It's a little weird. All right. We'll go with that one, and then we'll go with the next not so great one. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. I haven't.
Ah, yes.
More
Trash
trash
deluxe.
Yes, this is deluxe trash. I haven't shown Starlight season 2 yet.
No, but we did watch season 1 together.
Mm-hmm. We were thinking about watching season 2. It accidentally started us on the wrong season 2, and I was like, oh, because that's the more explicit season 2. It's like, let's not.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was like, let's not. So I was like, wait a sec. This is, oh yeah, no. And so yeah, I gave it 3 stars. That means it has a minimum of 60 points. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. It's not a typical isekai. It's a isekai similar to Overlord, where
and Demon Lord Retry. Demon Lord Retry has like a similar premise.
True, yeah, main character gets drawn into the video game that they've played a lot of. It has harem-esque elements. It's mid to high tier trash. It's slightly lower than Ari Fioretta on the trash tier, in my opinion, though.
I agree.
Ari Fioretta is the better trash.
I agree with that.
It's okay. It definitely has a lot of weird moments. Weird moments. I'm just thinking about that moment where he's trying to feel her magic, and I'm just like, you know what? This is weird.
This is
it, yeah. Are you sure it's the magic that you're trying to feel?
Yeah. But at that
Or
point,
you...
we had gotten to sunk cost fallacy of like, just trying to show it to Starlight, and it's just like we just finished the anime or finished this first season. It's like,
Yeah.
overall, I'd say the first season's not terrible. It has its enjoyable moments. It has decent plot points. It actually has better plot pacing than a lot of other like really good anime, or much better anime like what was it? Oops, it's not the right button. Not space. There we go. It has better pacing than what was the one that we Banished Strongest Hero? What was Banished?
Banished former hero?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Banished healer. It was the healer banished from his party.
Yeah, had better pacing than that one. Better pacing than Labyrinth raids, and Banished former hero lives as he pleases. It just has a lot of more weird and more sexual moments. I'll be explicit on there.
It's a little too horny.
A little too horny for me. I have a wife. I don't need that anime. Thank you. I would say, I don't know, C plus, maybe B minus to put it along with Remonster, or C plus to put it under Remonster since Remonster was less weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
We put it below. I'd say it goes below Remonster.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we actually had to skip a few scenes in that anime because yikes, that was weird. Yeah. I recommend it if you're into that stuff. Sure. Or if you're not, then don't watch it. It's not worth it. It's really just not worth a watch if you're not into that kind of thing, I think. It's decent story, decent plot, but it just has way too many weird and awkward moments. All right. Work our way back up. We're going to go with Fairy Tail.
Yes.
Fairy Tail is one of the epitomes of early excellent anime, like shonen, like anime. I think is the word. Like, it's just
Yeah.
a good anime. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's just a good anime. I need to catch up on it. I made it through halfway through, like, I think it was like 105, 110 episodes, like halfway through season 1, technically. Oh my goodness. It's a good anime.
It's good. There's some really wonderful moments in it.
It definitely has some of its own weird moments,
Yeah.
but
Nothing near to the level of what we've talked about before, though.
yeah. I don't know. Gray is pretty weird. It literally shows right here.
Yeah.
Jeez, my dude. His character is wild. There's a reason why he does what he does, but it's wild. I would say, like, Fairy Tail, if you don't know what Fairy Tail is, you haven't been watching anime long. I would recommend Fairy Tail. Highly recommend it. It's a very good, feel good, trust in your friends anime, and you'll make it through.
Very much, especially with the arc that we just completed.
Oh yeah. I would say it gets at least an S plus, if not an SS minus.
I would give it an S plus.
Okay. Alrighty. Fairy Tail. Good anime. Highly recommended. It's just an enjoyable anime. It's worth watching. There's a lot of really good feel good moments and just good moments. And there's a lot of really good like really sad moments that get payoff. So yeah, it's a good anime. We recommend it a lot. Alrighty. We'll do this one first. Okay. By the grace of the gods.
Yes. I love this anime so much.
It's definitely one that gets 5 stars for me. I've actually been showing it to my best friend Preston. It's an enjoyable anime. Starlight and I rewatched it, I think earlier this year.
And then I've also been rewatching it on my own time too.
And then I've been showing it to Preston. And then it got season 2 last year, I think. So I'm hoping for season 3 eventually. In the next couple years. It's a very good anime. Oh my gosh, it is so good. Just a really feel good anime. It has some action. The action isn't the focus of the anime. The focus of the anime is just building a life. It's a slice of life. Just slice of life, building a life with his friends and family, and just hanging out with friends and family.
And we've talked about, since we've mentioned the idea of couple cosplaying once we get to our face reveal thing, we definitely want to cosplay as Ryoma and Eliara.
Yep, Ryoma's this guy, and Eliara's this gal. Yep, because Starlight's blonde, blue-haired, and then I'm brown-haired, brown-eyed.
You mean blonde and blue-eyed?
Yes.
You said blue hair.
I'm tired. Blonde and blue-eyed, sorry, and I'm brown-haired, brown-eyed. So, definitely, if that's not obvious by our character models, I don't know what is. But yeah, it's definitely something we've thought about is cosplaying as them at some point, because they're a cute couple. It's very fun. I'm a little fat for Ryoma. But we'll see how it goes. It's a very cute slice of life, just slow life anime. It's got some action in it. It's got a decent amount of action in it.
Because he's an adventurer.
Whoops, yep, he's an adventurer and he does stuff for the Adventurers Guild as well as he runs his own clothing washing shop. It's very fun, very enjoyable. It's something we highly recommend. I would say at least SSS somewhere. It's somewhere in the SSSs at the very least.
I give it an SSS plus.
Okay.
It's really good. It's got a lot of good, just good growth. Where Ryuma learns to let go of some of the bad habits that he had from his previous life.
Mm-hmm.
Because he learns like he doesn't need to depend on those habits anymore. He can depend on his friends.
Yeah.
There's a really good moment. I want
Oh,
to say episode 3 or 4. Every time we watch it, it brings me to tears.
yeah, it's somewhere around there, like 3, 4, or 5. I think it's like 4 or 5 because it's coming up for Preston and I because we just watched episode 3. I think, yeah, we just watched episode 3. It says watch again, season 1, episode 3.
So I think it'll be episode 4.
Okay, yeah, really good. Brings us to tears, both of us. It's so good. It's just that heartfelt, like, these people are good people. And it's just that the friends are family that you choose for yourself that I mentioned earlier. It's just so good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's By the Grace of the Gods. That was rewatched anime this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go with Overlord. This is anime I introduced Starlight to this year.
Yes.
This year? Really? We watched all 4 seasons this year?
We watched all 4 seasons of Overlord this year.
Holy
From
crap.
start to finish, the whole shebang.
Okay.
Because I've watched parts of season 1 and season 3, but we watched the whole thing together this year.
Alrighty, I'll trust you on that. I don't remember.
And I'm very glad that we did, because I absolutely love Overlord.
Overlord's excellent. It's a highly recommended anime. I think it's another Eli tier score, somewhere in the Eli's. One in the 140s. Like, it's such a good anime. It's another one of those, like we mentioned earlier, where the main character gets drawn to the game that he uh that he plays a lot of, and then he has to figure out what the heck's going on and how things are happening and why it's happening. And it's just, honestly, it's pretty well paced overall because they had so many. To be fair, they didn't have a whole lot of episodes in season 1, but they have a whole lot of episodes in total so far, and they did a good job pacing it.
They did. It's really good.
Really good, really well done. Just a good anime. There are a number of weird things about it that are just we kind of gloss over them a little bit because it's just like it's things that people are enjoy in Japan. It's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But like,
Oh yeah, like the Dark Elf twins.
yeah, the Dark Elf twins and yeah. But overall, it's a very enjoyable anime.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend it if you can get past some of the hangups that we have, which we did get past them.
Oh
Because
yeah, it was hardly an issue for me.
yeah, overall, like, it's just a good anime. It's well written, well animated, um, well drawn. It's just so good. Everything about it is really good. Well voice acted.
All of the OPs are
Oh
amazing.
gosh, the OPs of this anime every single one of them is a hit. Every one of them is a banger. It's all good.
OXT and Myth and Royd are really good.
Hmm.
Those are the artists that did the opening and closing themes for
Yeah, we
the
should have talked
entire.
about Rimuru's OPs a bit because some of them are also really good. Not all of them are as good as some of them, but some of them are really good. But all of Overlord's OPs are excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a hard time ranking them. They're just all really good.
They're all really good.
Overlord, highly recommend it. What score would you give it, Starlight?
I would give it an Eli plus.
Same thing with Reincarnated as a Slime, Rimuru?
Yes.
All right, I can accept that. That is acceptable. Overlord is an amazing anime. It is.
Especially, yeah, with the way that season 4 ends and like just
Oof.
the twist
Yeah.
at the end.
Looking forward to season 5 and the movie in season 5. Oh, good stuff. So yeah, highly recommend Overlord and Reincarnated as a Slime. Two excellent animes. And of course, Solo Leveling and Kaiju number 8. Those are like top 4 animes, and then of course top 5 being By the Grace of the Gods. Alright, now we're getting down to the brass tacks, the final bits.
The pushing the wire.
Yes, alright, we got a few animes left, very few. Okay. I gotta change a setting real quick, hang on. Oops, not that. There we go. Okay. The first one we're going to talk about. Oh, wait. No, hang on. Sorry. We have to finish talking about one anime. I did miss one. Wow, I can't believe I missed this one of all animes.
Yes.
I can't believe I missed this one. How dare I? Goodness gracious. I was just excited to talk about the final few animes because I'm getting tired and we've been streaming for like 8 hours.
We didn't think it would take this long.
We didn't, but it has been. It has taken this long. So, World's Finest Assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. We call it World's Finest Assassin for short because holy crap, that's a long name. Really good anime. Really good anime. Highly recommend it. There's definitely some hangups, but overall, it's just an excellent, excellent anime. The major hang up for me is especially the English translation, the English dub. The talking backwards for magic spells. It hurts my ears. I don't consider myself a major audiophile, but that is something that really bothers me. And so it's I love this anime. This is one of my favorite animes of all time. And that's just one of the issues I have with it. And I can't deal with, I rewatched this with Preston this year because I wanted to show my best friend this anime. And it's just like, I could get through it. I'm getting used to it, but it's still like grating on the ear sometime. The talking backwards to cast the spells because it's very jarring. It's probably not as bad in Japanese. I don't remember having watched it in Japanese. I don't remember, but in the English dub, it's just yeah. It's other than that, it's a really, really, really good anime. All right. What would you rate it, Starlight, or is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I do want to give a warning for World's Finest Assassin because there's a
specific episode that talks about certain trauma regarding a certain situation.
Mm.
And so I do want to give a warning for that kind of thing. It's probably, hopefully it's in the content warning for the series.
Let's see.
Yes.
Yes,
it is.
Yes,
it very much is. She's talking specifically about this one. Because there is a moment that they do talk about doing that to one of the
you see the trauma inflicted from that action on several young women.
Yes, and
to the point where one of them disfigures her own face.
Yeah. And it's very awful, very much not enjoyable. But we have to make it through every single time through those scenes to watch the
Okay,
amazing
payoff.
the payoff scenes, the amazing scenes that come afterwards, because otherwise those amazing scenes don't mean as much, in my opinion. If you don't go through the terrible scenes, the amazing scenes don't mean as much. That's my opinion.
Yeah. That being said, you don't have to watch it if you can't stomach that kind of thing.
Exactly. If you don't have you don't if you don't feel like you can deal with it, you don't have to. It's just me as someone who greatly enjoys writing. Enjoys good writing and stuff like that. True. Exactly, King Talk. Yeah. So yeah, that's just me as someone who enjoys good writing. But definitely if people cannot handle that kind of thing, definitely you can skip that episode.
Skip that episode.
I think they even talk about it like in the beginning of the episode. Like there's like a content warning at the beginning of the episode, though I could be wrong. It's
I know people in the comments were
they
asking for
they've
content warning.
they've turned off comments on Crunchyroll.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, so I will say it's the orphanage scenes. Once you start seeing scenes about an orphanage and young girls being brought to an orphanage, skip over all of those. Maybe skip that episode. Um, if that's something that you cannot handle, because otherwise, yeah. But if you can, or if you feel like you can, or yeah, if you want to see the payoff by watching that, then just be warned that there's no explicitly graphic moments.
You see one woman. You see blood
Mhm.
under the dress of one character.
Yeah, but there's no
But you
explicitly
don't see.
yeah.
No.
There's no explicit graphic moment of anything happening, but you definitely see the trauma on their faces and how they act. Um, but as someone who enjoys good writing and as a writer, I think it's very well done. It's very tastefully done in that they don't show anything major, which you have to hand to them, honestly.
Mhm. All that considered, they did handle that as fairly well.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, all that said, what would you rate it, Starlight?
I would give it a triple S.
I can agree with this. It's definitely yeah. Yeah, definitely in the top 6 of our animes. Our anime ratings. Oh my gosh. And of course, the OP it comes on my Spotify playlist right now. I've been listening to Spotify this entire stream just to try and keep my energy up because I know that I work better as I'm listening to music. And I'm literally not even joking. I almost doxed myself. Let me. Nope, that's the wrong one. Turn off main monitor. There we go. Because I was about to bring it onto main monitor while main monitor was being recorded, Starlight.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah. So this is what I was gonna do, and main monitor was being recorded, and I was dragging it over to this monitor. But yeah, see, it just popped up onto my Spotify playlist.
That is pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty wonderful. I love that. Okay, we'll restart that OP.
Perfect.
Like you can't plan that kind of stuff. You really can't.
That OP is one of the reasons we love this anime so
But
much.
yeah, the OP
Especially for me,
slaps.
like, yeah, that's just kind of the mid moment
Mm-hmm.
where you see the transition from his old life into the new life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the way that that was animated was beautifully done.
Yep. One of my favorites is when he hands himself a knife behind his back. It's really good.
Yes. I also know that you like the hip swing at Rizume.
Yes, because the reason for that is because it's at the perfectly in sync with the music. It's just
Yes.
so perfectly synced. It's just such a perfect moment. It's just so good. I love that kind of animation where they do that kind of thing in sync with the music. It's just so good. Okay.
We gotta move on.
Yes, it is very late. So yeah, World's Finest Assassin SSS. I put in
Yes.
SSS, right? Let me make sure I
Yep.
put it in the right line. Yes, okay. I was just making sure I put it in the right line. All right. Put this back now. That is all the Crunchyroll anime. Yes.
Now we're moving to High Dive.
Yes, we're moving on to High Dive anime, specifically Eminence in Shadow. This is one that I introduced Starlight to this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one of those animes that I talked about earlier. This, along with Grieving, Let This Grieving Soul Retire, where the main character, their luck stats are triple maxed because the main character doesn't know what the frick is going on. He just keeps bumbling into crap, and it's hilarious and it's great.
He's got his own goals. He's got his own selfish goals.
Yeah.
But as it just so happens, it lines up with saving the world.
Yes.
It's
It's
amazing.
amazing.
And then on top of that, he's doing other stuff, but it just so happens he blunders into bad guys doing bad things and beats the crap out of bad guys doing bad things because they think he's there to stop them. When if they hadn't messed with him, he would have left them alone. That's the funniest part to me.
It is pretty hilarious.
So yeah, Eminence in Shadow is a really good anime, really high quality anime. It has what's called really good OPs.
Yep, the artist who did the OP for season 1 is the same one who did the majority of OPs for Overlord.
Yep.
OXT.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't like season 2's OP as well as much. Season 2's OP wasn't as enjoyable to me. As enjoyable to me. It was all right. I don't know. But I definitely like season 1's OP more.
I agree.
All right. So, anything else you want to say about this anime?
I think we've covered just about everything. So
Yeah.
it's very good. I highly recommend it.
Mhm.
I hope that they get a season 3,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
after the way they ended the second season.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've already like announced that season 3 is coming out. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Like I can check right now, in fact. Eminence. There's a movie confirmed, but the release date is unknown due to the popularity of it. It's safe to guess that there will be a season 3, just from a Reddit post.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a movie confirmed, and I think that's coming out in the next like 6 months or so. So yeah, I'm pretty sure like it's a very popular anime. It's so good, so popular, and holy crap, the contrast of not even the contrast, the connection of the end of season 2 and the beginning of season 1, just they did so well. Like it's so good. I know that's the original writer who did it in the manga or the light novel or wherever it originally came from, but it still was animated so well and written so well and acted so well. The voice acted so well. Everything was about it was just so good. Just a good anime. We highly recommend it. What would you rate it, Starlight?
I would rate it a triple S
S
plus.
plus.
Oh, okay. I'll agree with you there. It's a very good anime. Did I spell that right or am I tired? Ah, it's 1M. I'm tired. I was like, that doesn't look right to me. There we go. So I am going to do one more anime that's technically not on the list, just because I did enjoy it quite a bit. My Isekai Life. I gained a second character class and became the strongest sage in the world. I'll show this to you at some point, Starlight. It's a decent anime. It's definitely not higher than A plus, but for what it is, it's an enjoyable anime. It's got everything. It's got an overpowered main character. It's got a comic relief dog. It's got slimes. It's got everything. It's a very enjoyable anime. It's a kind of slow life anime with a lot of action, which is kind of crazy because he's trying to live his life in the slow lane, but all the action, everywhere he goes, he just what are all those long names doing? I know, right, King's Dog? It's the part of
That's kind of the thing about it translating from Japanese to English.
Part of it is that in Japanese, I'm pretty sure it's not very long at all. But because it's translated into English, it's extremely long. Because we're using multiple words to explain what like one character would do for them.
One or two characters can do. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing like 3 or 4 words where 1 or 2 characters would do. So like this would be like maybe a 4 or 5 character title in Japanese, something like that. But in English, it's blah. So it's just translation. That's that's just something people have to keep in mind is that translating from one language to another, uh, sometimes you have to add more words.
Yep, it's a little messy.
hmm But this anime, it's not bad. I recommend it. It's probably honestly an A plus. Not quite S. Not quite anything else. I need to.
There is one last one we have to cover.
Yep, one last one after this one, but I just wanted to cover this one before that one. So A plus.
Oh my butt.
We've been sitting for like 8 hours, to be fair. I need to pull up that anime's name. I already forgot what it's called.
My Isekai life.
Yeah, I'll just say it. My Isekai Life. Doggo and Slimes as Sage. There we go. My Isekai Life with Doggo and Slimes as Sage. There we go. At least slightly shorter. A plus. I'll give it a 97. It's a good anime. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. It's enjoyable to watch. It was fun. Decent writing. All right. Final one. The cute. The cuteness, the cuteness, the cuteness.
Oh, this one was adorable.
Oh, you can't really see it. Hang on. Let me fix that in the projector. There we go.
Reincarnated as a sword.
Yeah, reincarnated as a sword. Sorry. I didn't realize it was that much off track. It's been 8 hours. I'm getting really tired, so I was not paying attention. Reincarnated as a sword. Really cute anime about a cat girl who finds a magical talking sword. The magical talking sword is an isekai character. He's isekai'd from Earth and becomes a talking sword for some reason, a sentient sword, who can grow stronger and then make his wielder stronger. This all happens in the first episode, so it's not spoiler. And they find each other and they help each other and they go on adventures together and it's very fun and very cute and it's just
And the
fun.
relationship they have with each other is so good.
It's just
He's
wholesome.
like a father figure to her. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of you, my little baby.
Yeah, she's just it's just so cute. The relationship they have is like father and daughter, and he just wants what's best for her, and he feels he. My favorite line. This is a minor spoiler, but my favorite line is, "I feel like my entire purpose of coming to this world, of coming back. No, not even coming to this world. My my entire purpose of coming back was to help her. His entire purpose of coming back to life was to help her, and it's just that line hits so hard, and it's so good, so wholesome, very wholesome anime. Highly recommend it. Definitely check it out if you guys like wholesome kick butt animes. It's got a lot of action, but a lot of wholesomeness.
A lot of action. Some of the language is pretty intense. There's a couple
Yeah.
of F-bombs.
True. There is some pretty intensive language. There's a reason it's TV-14. Pretty intense language, but some of the bad guys are, really bad guys. They don't live very long though.
No.
She's definitely an OP character. But she's not the one that's OP, it's the sword. The sword is freaking OP as heck. But she's strong in another way. She's strong of heart. With his strength of power, with his strength of power and of will, and with her strength of heart and of will, they go on an amazing adventure, and nothing can stand in their way. We highly recommend this. Starlight, what would you rate this anime?
I would rate this triple S.
I can agree with this.
Especially with like the reveal at the
Oh,
end.
yeah. That was such a good reveal. I remember when I first watched it before I showed it to you. I was like, "Oh my gosh." Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Oh, this has been a good stream. We've talked about a lot of good shows, a lot of good anime, a lot of good movies, a lot of good games. Definitely check out anything like anything A minus or above, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, A minus or above are just like,
yes,
yes,
these are
these
worth
are worth
checking out.
checking out. Anything below
It's
that,
like,
it's like,
eh.
eh.
Yeah.
You
You should share that sheet with me.
Yeah. Yeah, this is on the Eli the Fatigued emails. Let me send that on your email or on Discord.
Oof.
Oof. And
Boom.
boom.
There we go. Anyone with the link can view this, and I'll put this in the description of the YouTube video. I'll try to do that anyway. If I can. I'll try to do that after I end the stream, maybe. I can figure out how to do all that. See if I can do this. Hang on. I'll put it at the very top. There we go. Okay. Anyone watching the YouTube stream right now, feel free to refresh the page. It should be in the description at the top.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning into our stream. It was definitely very different from what we usually do, but we're very glad that we were able to do it.
It was very fun, very enjoyable. I had a lot of good times. A lot of yeah, I had a lot of fun. I guess anything B plus or higher, because that includes Shadows of Doubt and Irregular.
Yeah.
But anything below that, you can check out on your own volition. But anything B plus or higher, definitely check out. They're enjoyable. Be careful with RuneScape for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good night, Kingstog. We're gonna end stream and go get some dinner because we've been streaming for 8 hours. We had lunch before stream, but now we're both hungry, I think.
Yeah.
This was good. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. We'll definitely do more of this in the future. I think next year we'll try to do this. Maybe not as long, hopefully. Uh, we'll see. Anyway, all right. I'm in stream. I don't have a stream outro for this, but so I'm just gonna do my normal stream outro. Thank you, yes, you in the shirt for watching. Oh gosh, that's right. I did get up to 418 viewer counts. Hang on, let me, or not viewer count. Viewer count. I wish. Subscriber count on YouTube. From over the past few days. So anyway, thank you all for watching. You've all been awesome. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do some more Rayquaza raids. I definitely want to do some more of those. Those have been fun. Thank you all for watching. I've been joined by my lovely wife, Starlight Violets.
Yep, that's me.
I've been your host, Eli the Fatigued, and we'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, probably around that time, with more fun. And we'll do some more streaming. And then we'll be back Saturday with Kingdom Hearts 1, 1.5 technically. And yeah, this was good. This was fun. Lot of good times. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. We're gonna go get food. Have a good night, folks.